A special gift from God, forgiveness. Since we are currently in the season of Lent, an important topic to discuss is forgiveness. Many people use the word in their everyday lives, but do they actually know the true meaning of the word forgiveness? Forgiveness is not holding a grudge and giving someone a second chance after they might have caused you some kind of harm. Now, you might be thinking, they did wrong to me, why should I forgive them so easily? Forgiveness is beneficial to both receive and give. When you forgive someone, you forgive yourself. You forgive yourself from all the trouble and stress of holding a grudge. You have the ability to live freely and not worry about thinking bad about others. Who wouldn't want to live stress-free? The church teaches this lesson very often. The example of Jesus Christ is taught to help us understand better. When Jesus Christ was about to die on the cross, he said something that is still very famous today. Father, forgive them, for they do not know what they do. Despite everything Pontius Pilate and the soldiers did to Jesus, he still forgave them. Jesus asked God to forgive them so they could be freed from their sins. Just as Jesus showed forgiveness back then, it is still shown in today's world. Many stories of forgiveness that touched our hearts are constantly being told. During the Vietnam War, a bomb was dropped and burned half of 9-year-old Kim Pung's body. She went through many surgeries but still didn't recover and was in much pain. She could have all the reasons to hate the pilot who accidentally dropped the bomb, but she forgave the pilot. One year, at a Veterans Day ceremony in front of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial, Kim Puk said in English that if she ever meets the pilot who dropped the bomb, she would urge him to join her in working for world peace. I am that man, John Plummer hastily wrote on a scrap paper that was passed up to her. Minutes later, the former army captain was embracing Puk, sobbing that he was sorry. Responded Puk, I forgive you. She had the courage to even go through all this, and most importantly, she forgave. Many people would have hated that soldier and held a grudge. Forgiveness is an antidote that never ends. It cleanses grudges and gives you a second chance. It goes through everyone and is given and received a lot. When you receive forgiveness, it's better than any other gift in the world. If someone is feeling sorrow or regret, give them the antidote of forgiveness and keep some for yourself. After all, it's the season of Lent, and we all need forgiveness.
Where there is forgiveness, there is love. A hero not only to one man, but to all of the world. One man's faith was strong enough to quench his thirst and satisfy his hunger at the time he needed it most. Darkness had struck upon Poland. Everyone was fearful. Suddenly, you could hear cheerful voices singing loudly and showing love for God. St. Maximilian Kolbe showed the concepts of sacrifice and forgiveness. When the Germans invaded Poland in 1939, many people were put into concentration camps. This happened while St. Maximilian Kolbe was a priest in Poland. The German Gestapo became very suspicious of St. Maximilian, and he was sent to the Auschwitz death camp. Even though he was put into a concentration camp, that didn't stop him from the worship of the Lord. He always knew that he had to tell people about the Lord, and he always found an opportunity to incorporate him. Throughout his time there, Maximilian told people to pray and ask forgiveness upon their captors and show peace to the guards. There were even darker times that Maximilian faced in the camp, but he never stopped praying to God. One day, Auschwitz announced a rule that if anyone tried to escape, 10 men would be chosen and would be starved to death. One man then went missing, and when the guards found this out, 10 men were selected to go to the starvation bunker. After the men were all chosen, one of these men cried out, "My poor wife, my poor children, what will they do?" Maximilian Kolbe, feeling sympathy for the man, asked if he could take the man's place. Kolbe and 9 other men were put into the bunker. This did not stop Maximilian from giving praise to God. He would lead the other men in prayer and songs. His faith was stronger than steel. Maximilian was one of the last survivors, but soon the soldiers needed this bunker for someone else, and they gave all the men lethal injections. Kolbe was the only man who was conscious while he got the injection. Maximilian Kolbe was canonized as a saint in 1982. In St. Adalbert Parish, there are many things that represent Colby. There is a statue of him outside of the church, and the parish even has a relic of him, which is a piece of cloth that he wore. St. Maximilian's story is an example of what we pray in the Lord's Prayer. Forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. There are many saints that represent forgiveness during the Lenten season, but this saint really stands out.